What's up, fire signs? This one's for you. Gonna be doing an energy reading for this week. So if you're curious what might be going on, stick around. We're about to get into it. All right, so gonna start off with the Citadel deck per usual. See what type of archetype y'all are in this week. I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Monday to you. The runaway. Oh no, secrets. Running from problems. Okay, let's read this page and see how that's affecting you. Or not how it's affecting you, but what exactly that entails. It's normal to want to run away from your problems rather than facing them, but you'll soon find that this won't resolve anything. Your problems will simply follow you until you're overwhelmed by everything you've been avoiding. It's time to start admitting to yourself what you're running from and address it. Oh man, okay. You know, it happens, right? It's nothing to beat yourself up about, and maybe there's a more positive message once we really dive into it, so don't get too freaked out yet. Let's just see how this is unfolding for you. And maybe this is kind of a warning to not do this, you know? Sometimes that happens with tarot. It's kind of like, hey, before you go down that road, let's take a pause. So yeah, let's get into it, and you're welcome to skip ahead if you need to. Not if you need to. I meant to say if you'd like to, not if you need to. I mean, I guess if you feel the need to, you know, whatever. Get that. Okay. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. Almost done here. What? Wow, this is crazy. Okay. Like I said, you know, the runaway, it might not be exactly that. You know, it might just be like, this might be a warning, and maybe this is talking about what to look out for as you go through whatever you're going through. But, you know, we're starting with the Hermit card. So this tells me that you've been doing a lot of internal reflection, a lot of, just really being real with yourself and trying to see things as they are, and not maybe go out too much and party too much. You're really trying to like get to the bottom of whatever this thing you're thinking about is, whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're dealing with, that kind of thing. You've really been, doing the work of trying to shed light on the situation. And I see that you're just really looking at whether there's an equal give and take in your life, whether things are balanced. You're trying to find out, are things balanced? Do I like what I've been creating up until now? Just a lot of, thinking about your situation in your life and really just weighing things up and trying to understand them. That was really helpful for you because you were able to find your truth within that. You were able to really hear your own voice very clearly and see, all these abundant opportunities and the abundance that you carry within you as well. I feel like you understand, I'm good regardless. I'm going to be okay. Even if I have this thing or I don't have this thing, I know that I'm good, like without these outer material world things, right? It's really coming back to yourself, and this is based on everything that you've learned. There's been a lot of learning you've been doing in the shadow realm. I feel like you've been really paying attention to where you might, like, what your shadow aspects are. You're really opening up and seeing these things clearly and understanding your darkest version of yourself instead of running away from it, right? And so this might be what it's talking about. Maybe some of you aren't doing that, but if you're running from your shadow, it's time to face it and hang out with it, right? I like to think of it as like when I'm in my low points, me and my shadow side are just having a coffee, catching up, trying to figure shit out together. I don't look at it so scary. I used to think that you need to eliminate your ego and eliminate your shadow and all these things. That's not what it's about. It's about, can y'all live in harmony, right? Can you live in harmony with the side of yourself that may not be quote unquote good or your best self, right? Because it's still a part of you. Can you be okay with that? Can you sit with it? That's the real testament here. And if you can't, there might be some more work you need to do, I have a cat that's trying to cause chaos. Let me handle that real quick. So he wanted to cause chaos, so now I'm exploiting him. Right, Fred? Yeah, you're getting exploited now. Because he wants to cause problems. Because he's a troublemaker, right? Well, stop it. Okay. Sorry. I had to get him situated so he stopped causing that chaos. But if you got cats, if you know, you know. Okay. Where was I at? All right, I believe I was at the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is coming after the Devil, which tells me that you have the capacity to move through this and see through it very clearly. When I see her, it's kind of like she's able to cut through any bullshit, right? And so maybe you just need to shoot the shit with yourself and figure out, hey, you're kind of kidding yourself here, right? You're kind of, maybe running away from this thing. What if you came and addressed it, right? It's like these things. There's an intuitive hit that's coming to you that you need to speak up about. And whether that's internally or with someone else, take it as it is. Some of you are just going through this in an internal way, with yourself. And some of you are actually going through this in a physical way with somebody else, right? So, take it as it goes. But you have the capacity to move through this clearly and understandingly. And oh my God, I just realized the king and the queen are together. So you definitely have the capacity to move through this in an authentic, true to you way. You know what I mean? And I think that we all cast so many judgments and we all think that everything needs to be one way, but your shadow side is your shadow side. Own it. Own whatever darkness you have and just be you. If your process is a little chaotic, do it that way then. No one is saying you have to do everything this way. I have my weird chaotic process. I don't judge anyone who has a different process than me. That it is what it is, And I see that this is a serious tower moment for you. So whether this is internal or with somebody outside of you, there's a serious conversation that ends up happening, and this causes everything to come crumbling down in a good way. It's like all that bullshit that you built up is gone now, and there's no kidding yourself. There's no hiding behind these walls anymore that you've built for yourself. It's like you're destroying your own walls. And that's a good thing. I feel like you're maybe now getting to a point where you can be a little bit more vulnerable than you could be in the past. Even just with yourself, maybe you were really able to, kind of be in denial about how you feel about certain things. But I do see that you're entering on a new path and things are shifting in a huge way for you emotionally. Especially with the Wheel of Fortune coming after that. This is the end of a cycle. This is a serious moving on. This is a serious starting fresh energy. So you are no longer going to be in that same place anymore. You are rising up to the occasion and showing your inner strength and capacity. Make sure that this isn't ego though. Don't let pride get in your way, but definitely have that confidence that you deserve because you've been through a lot here, And man, are they really saying like you're stepping into this new world, a new version of yourself. You've definitely changed and grown so much. Look at this. It's undeniable. So, life is going to always have chaos around it, but how you navigate it is what really matters. So I feel like the way that you navigate these crazy conflicts are going to be very different. You've grown so much and you no longer have to be in the middle of this. You can rise above and see everything like, oh yeah, they're fighting over that. What a waste of time. It's like, it is what it is type energy. Like, I'm not getting involved in that shit. I know that I'm growing just fine over here. I don't need to involve myself in whatever the fuck that is, right? It's like that type of energy. You're really being able to discern what is for you and what's not. And maybe even, you know, really learning how to address your problems and not run away from them, you know? So to end with these cards, this is the end of this tough ass growing cycle for you. Like, you're being reborn right now. Like, this is completely different. This growing cycle is over and you're embarking on a really beautiful new one. So I'm really excited for you. You know, I think that there's a lot of potential here and a lot of growth that's happening. And yeah, when I say potential, there's an opportunity here. So don't ruin it for yourself by running away from your problems. You know, there's a lot of greatness that is in store here for you. You know, I really missed using my good tarot deck. I don't know. I gotta use it. I know it's basically traditional tarot, but I love the confirmation of it. Let me know what y'all think. Hanged Man. Yeah, surrender. Wow, surrender and patience. Very, very hard. Yeah, so things might not always look perfect, and you might have those low moments where you're feeling very emotional, but I feel like you're understanding that you just kind of got to surrender to the flow of it and have that patience as you move through it, because those emotions come. It just is inevitable, and we feel things. We're human. We're not robots, and that's okay. I think we need to be okay with not being robots. I'm pretty sure all of us would rather be humans, and so why don't we act like it and just enjoy these crazy emotions that we get to feel? You know, stop looking at these emotions as a burden. Look at them as like, wow, I'm so grateful to be feeling something. What's her name? Alyssa Liu, that figure skater. She'd be talking about that. You know, and I'm like, yes, we need people in higher positions to be saying this type of shit. We need that. We need that energy. It's like, she didn't care if she won the medal or not. We need to get on that energy for real, because that's how you win the medal. It's like, when you're not really like focused so much on that. Yeah, the Hierophant coming in is trusting your intuition, really putting a lot of value in your spiritual practices, your spiritual routines, you know, and maybe your spiritual routine is washing your face in the morning. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. It's whatever is good for your soul and whatever is good for your body, you know, all that stuff. Like what's a good routine for you? What's something that really grounds you every day? That type of thing. So keep moving with that, or add something in for you. Like right now I'm adding in, you know, washing my face in the morning. Normally I don't do that. You know, I'm not really good with skincare and all the girly things that most girls do. You know, I don't really do any of that. So I'm trying to like add it into my routine, and I am like, wow, this makes me feel really good. It's a great way to start your day. And I'm like, I really should have been doing this, you know, shit like that. Okay. Man, I'm really ranting. Queen of Fire. So this is really saying like you're gaining a lot of compassion, you're a lot of understanding, and sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Let me actually pull the page for this one up. Yeah, so this is really just saying like you're entering a state where you're co-creating. You know, you're accessing your co-creative power and realizing you have a lot more, you know, influence on how the situation goes than you might think. And I think that we all act like, you know, things are out of our hands sometimes, when really they are in our hands because of how we react to them, how we choose to move forward based on, you know, the things that we're going through, like those kinds of things. I think you're understanding like I have just as much control over where I go to next that then like the universe, you know, it's like there's an equal partnership when it comes to what happens next. I don't know how to explain that. I hope I did well, but you know, that's just what's coming through. And there's a lot, I think, that you're understanding within yourself of like why you do things the way you do. And just, I think you're really putting a lot together of what makes you you and why you're you. And maybe you're even entering that acceptance part, you know, because I think some people really don't like to accept themselves the way that they are. And they're always like, I need to do this and then I'll be happy. I need to lose weight and then I'll do this. And I need, you know, get my hair done and then I'll feel like myself. It's like these things are just material. Like that doesn't make you fulfilled inside. And I always think like you got to start inside before you start outside, but everybody has their process. So some people need the outside to really see that stuff on the inside. You know what I mean? So figure out your process. What is your way? I don't think that there's one way of doing this, you know? I think like as long as you're not harming yourself, like that's what matters, or other people, right? So it's like, yeah, all right, let's get to some more cards and then we'll close it out. Meditate and contemplate. You've definitely been doing that, you know, with the hermit energy in the beginning there. I definitely feel like you've been trying your best with that. It's time to take action. So whatever that means to you, maybe, you know, what is it time to take action towards? I want to make sure I'm giving you like solid advice there. Yeah, I guess if you are running away from your problems and you're not seeing things correctly, or you're not, you know, taking the time to reflect on this, you know, maybe that's what it's talking about, like take action towards that, or goals or hobbies, or, you know, maybe get out of your head. Maybe that's what it's saying, like get out and do stuff so that you're not like just overthinking too much. So, you know, there's a time to be in that contemplative, meditative energy, but then there's a time to take action too. So it's, oh, okay. So it's the balance of both of those. It's like meditation and action. It's like, can you balance these two things and not be too far into one or the other? It's like whenever you catch yourself thinking too much, it's time to take action. It's time to do something. It's not going to run or a walk or whatever the fuck you got to do to get out of your own head. But you are good enough where you're at. There's no work that needs to be done. I think now you just need to be you, and the actions that you take will show you that, who you are and who you're becoming. There's no need to stew on that for too long, because you'll see yourself as you move forward, as you walk the path. I think we are really, I think with the internet, you know, really taught us how to look inside, but now it's time to like balance that out and do just as much internal thinking and reflection and, you know, internal living as we do outer living. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to word things, but yeah. So let's see what some guidance messages are, and then we'll close it out. Back to basics. Yeah, just do your thing. Just do your thing. Stop thinking so much. I'm really feeling like that's a strong message that's coming through. And honor the deities around you, meaning like thank your fucking spirit team, because they're helping you out. They led you to this video, and hopefully this video helped you, right? But yeah, there's definitely a need to, you know, meditate. Yeah, they're really saying meditate and simplify and center. It's like meditate, do some action, go out and do stuff, meditate. There's this need to kind of like balance those two things and really be able to, you know, yeah, just recenter your life. Simplify, reduce, and center. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's coming through. So that's what I got for you, fire signs. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you have a great one. And if you're interested in my content, please feel free to subscribe, leave a comment on how this resonated with you. And yeah, if you're interested in more from me, check out my Patreon and send me a email to tarotwithsummer@gmail.com if you're interested in a personal private reading. So have a great one. Thank you so much. Bye.